Hey friends, welcome back to the Guitar Max channel, and today I want to talk about the best-selling heavy metal album of all time and why this album will never be beaten. And when I say never be beaten, I'm not talking about, oh, there'll never be a better album necessarily, but I'm talking about no album will ever outsell this heavy metal album. Let's check it out. Okay guys, so look, I don't want to keep you in suspense and drag this out here. The album in question is Metallica's The Black Album. And how many copies has this album sold? And why do I think this will never be beaten? We're going to go over all those details in this video. And there's a really good news article up here on Loudwire that explains a lot of things about this album and kind of compares it to other top-selling albums. It's pretty interesting. So we're going to go over all that stuff, but real quick, guys, if you enjoy videos like this, checking out cool new guitars and staying up on all the latest news in the guitar universe, and you have not already subscribed, please consider subscribing right now. Okay, so let's check out this article right here. Like I said, this is on Loudwire, and I'll have a link for this down in the video description below. But yeah, Metallica's The Black Album just passed 20 million copies just in the United States. And what's really crazy is only 13 albums, not just heavy metal albums, but 13 albums, period, have ever sold more than 20 million copies. And actually, Metallica's The Black Album is becoming the 14th one, so 13 other albums. So what are some of the other ones that, that has gone over 20 million? Okay, well, the Eagles' greatest hits, okay, it's always a classic. Michael Jackson's Thriller, of course, 34 million. Okay, Eagles with 38 million, Michael Jackson Thriller, 34 million. And also Back in Black, AC/DC, Back in Black, 27 million. And then Eagles again with the Hotel California album at 26 million. We got Led Zeppelin 4. And the Beatles' self-titled album, 24 million. Billy Joel's greatest hits. And then Garth Brooks' Double Live and Pink Floyd's The Wall. All of those are at 23 million. And then this next one blows my mind. Hootie and the Blowfish, Cracked Rearview Mirror. 22 million copies of a Hootie and the Blowfish album. You know, it's a strange world we live in, and that's one of the facts we just have to deal with. Now, Fleetwood Mac's Rumors, 21 million. Green Day's Dookie and Shania Twain's Come On Over at 20 million. So there you go. Incredible that Hootie and the Blowfish is on the same list as Led Zeppelin 4. Okay, so there it is. Congrats to Metallica for surpassing 20 million sold on the Black Album. Metallica has long been the sort of gateway drug to heavy metal for a lot of new heavy metal fans, and they continue to fulfill that role admirably, right? I mean, it is a great album. Okay, it's a great album. You can always put it on and enjoy it, right? No question about that. But why do I say this will never be beaten? Okay, and obviously, you know, there are a few other albums here, like you could say, oh, Back in Black is pretty metal, you know, but I'm talking about like metal, and you can argue AC/DC is more of like a hard rock band or even rock and roll band. But yeah, you know, for a heavy metal album, I never see any other band surpassing 20 million albums sold for the simple fact that people don't buy albums anymore. Physical copies of albums, yes, they are still sold, but people don't buy. You know, it's a shadow, a sliver of what the market used to be. And people talk about, oh man, vinyl's making a big comeback. Oh, cassettes are making a big comeback. How weird, right? But it's a comeback from its low point. It's never going to get to what it was in like the mid to late 90s in terms of unit sales. So it's totally possible some new awesome heavy metal band might come out in the future, and maybe they will even create and release an album that is better than Metallica's Black Album, but it's not going to outsell the Black Album. That's simply a thing of the past. And look, guys, I know people have tried to kind of do these calculations where it's like, well, equivalent number of downloads or streams. Like you take this number and you divide it by some, whatever variable, and you get like, oh, that's equivalent to physical copies sold or something. But no, it's just not going to happen. 20 million. That's a big, big, big number. And I hate to say it, but I think those days are gone when it comes to people actually buying music. People don't buy music anymore. They pay a subscription maybe, but almost nobody. And if you still buy music, albums in particular, CDs or whatever, let me know down in the comment section below. I'm curious how many people out there actually still buy a physical album. I'm not talking about you pay for the Amazon download or something like that. I'm talking about like an actual product that you can hold in your hands. How many people watching this still do that? I still do it occasionally. I actually have, let's see here, I've got the latest Metallica album, which is really, really good, War Machine. I bought 2 copies of these. And then I've got Todd Michael Hall, Off the Rails. Those were the most recent albums that I bought, both killer albums, links in the video description below. But yeah, I hate to say it, but it's not like the old days. Something I wonder a lot about is, let's say 50 or 100 years from now, when historians, music historians, or people that study the history of societies down through the years, when they look back on this, the current time, when they look back on 2025, I wonder if they're going to understand the context and everything that happened. And they're going to be like, wow, in 1995, people were selling like millions and millions of albums all the time, every year, millions of albums sold, right? And in 2025, 30 years later, like nobody bought albums. I guess the music must have just sucked, right? I wonder if they'll think that, or they will understand that, no, the industry went through these changes and people moved away from physical media. And it was this sort of cultural shift and everything in terms of the value of music. I wonder if they're going to understand the nuances and the changes in the music industry. Or maybe it'll just be confusing when they look back on it. Or maybe the worst thing of all would be maybe they won't look back on it. Maybe it just won't seem that interesting. I hate to say it, but there's a lot of things about the past that probably seemed really important at the time, from like 150 years ago, but we don't even think of them now, and they're just, like lost in time, like tears in rain. Okay, guys, but let me know what you think of all that stuff. I'm still, personally, I'm bummed out that the industry has moved away from physical products. Like I said, I still buy stuff here and there, but, it used to be something like you could ask your buddy, like, hey, man, did you get the new whatever album? And they'd be like, yeah, did you read the liner notes? And you could talk about it like that, and that stuff's gone. I mean, people rarely even listen to an entire album anymore. Even the listening experience has changed. So, yeah, it bums me out, but that's just the reality of the world we live in. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think of all that stuff down in the comments section below, and in the video description, I will have a link for this article on Loudwire, and I'll put a link for those 2 albums that I got recently down there as well, if you want to check those out. Okay, guys, subscribe if you haven't already, thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you soon.